Executive Secretary of the Emil Short Commission of Inquiry into the Election Violence at La Bawaleshi, Abotsi, has justified the Commission's use of the word militia to describe security groups associated with political parties. JoyNews has come under heavy criticism for describing political party security details as militias instead of vigilantes, as the public popularly referred to them. NPP organizer Samir Uku recently condemned JoyNews' documentary Militia in the Heart of the Nation, which unmasked the I, an NPP-affiliated militia group which has been operating or had been operating from the Christian Bloc Council at Osu. But speaking on PM Express with Evans Mensah yesterday, Mr. Abotsi explained that evidence presented to the Commission best describes the political party security details as militias.
I am a strong supporter of appropriate diction and appropriate concepts. And I think in this particular regard, I support the Commission's stance.
You do?
I do support it. Now, let's face it. A vigilante has a certain definition. A vigilante plays a complementary role. A vigilante has a responsibility to come in, takes upon the responsibility of coming in when the mainstream, when the authorized body fails. So a vigilante plays the role of filling in the gap. Let's analyze what Ghana has, or the scenario we have. The party vigilantes don't purport to wait for the police to fail for them to come in. These are entities and these are bodies that literally challenge the police.
True.
I mean, you see the police go, you see them sometimes struggling with the police for space as far as ensuring security in, say, by-elections or elections are concerned. And therefore, using this concept of vigilante, in my opinion, appears a misnomer. Now look at militia. A militia may appear to be a heightened concept, but it still embraces these groups. Now the way it embraces them is this. A militia is supposed to fundamentally have a paramilitary or a quasi-military characteristic in terms of how it does its things. So one thing is discipline, and discipline in quotes in terms of training. The other thing is a certain structure and hierarchy. The other thing is, the claim to having a certain, if you like, military leadership, and that they listen to a certain chain of command. Mm-hmm. All these features may or may not be present, but you may have one, two, or more present. Yeah. And so the reality is that there's a certain evolution, even if they're not there yet in many ways, even if some of them, are not there yet, there's a certain evolution to move away from the current status, i.e. plain just vigilante, to the position of military or quasi-military or paramilitary. Because the truth of the matter is that these groups are increasingly recognizing that there's a competition. Now, in competition, the concept that could be used appropriately here is what is called the race to the bottom, which in this case could be the race to the top. And the race to the top could be an amassing of weapons to challenge each other, because there's a certain recognition that there's going to come a point in time where one will have to outdo the other. And if you don't outdo each other in how mature you are and how big your guys are, you have to outdo each other in what kind of weapons you're holding. And if you don't outdo each other in that, you have to outdo each other in how sophisticated you guys are as an organized military force. The reality is that the Commission recognized, having listened to some evidence at that point. Don't forget, the Commission didn't say this from day one. True. The Commission has sat for a few days and was beginning to see a certain picture and was beginning to see from the evidence that was given before the Commission a certain trend developing. And that's why the Commission said, let's use the appropriate language.
Ken Abotsi, Abotsi, that's the second time I'm calling him Ken, and I don't know why. He was speaking to Evans Mensah yesterday on PM Express.